Okay, and we're back. Back to loading up this wagon again. Gotta finish this so we can get these cows fed and get on with the morning, I guess, because, well, now it's 8:15. Milk truck still hasn't been here yet. I don't know if he's running late or not. He's usually here by now. I'm assuming that he's probably gotten held up somewhere. That happens an awful lot anymore. I'm sure when he gets the opportunity, he'll be here. As for right now, it's probably good that he is late because that's giving me a little bit of time to finish getting the mix ration or getting the mix ratio right on this wagon anyway, because this wagon is kind of touchy. Don't get the right ration mix with it right off the bat, you'll be fighting it for a few minutes to try to figure it out again. 9 times out of 10, though, I can usually do it, first thing, but for some reason today it wanted to fight me, which doesn't really make any sense, but it happens, I guess. Okay. I know that wagon is full, so we're going to back up from the pile a little bit here. Detach our StrimTech bucket, which, by the way, is a very handy piece of machinery. Very handy tool. If you can afford to get it, I would suggest that you do get it. If you can find that pack. I believe that StrimTech pack is on FSUK. It's part of a pack of stuff, I believe, or it might just be by itself. Either way, if it's part of a pack or by itself, it's worth it either way, so I would pick it up if that's something you're needing, because that one seems to work the best out of all of them. Okay, we can shut off our little International now and go hop in our New Holland over here and take this into the cow shed. Feed these guys so they'll keep producing. Hopefully we've gotten the audio figured out now. I don't know if I do or not, if I just turned down myself or if I turned down the actual audio of the game. I'm not exactly sure. I think I turned down the audio of the game. I hope I did, but I never know. And yeah, I do have to back in. As you can see, we're driving through the bushes. I thought about opening this map up in editor and taking out these bushes right here because of the simple fact that they are in the way when you try to do this. But to keep with the realism of the map and the way that things get done, we're going to just try to leave them there, I guess, and just work around them. If that means I got to drive into them a few times, well, then I guess I'll have to. But as for now, 6 of one, half a dozen of another. Get this wagon unloaded here and into the cow feeder for them, so they'll at least have some feed. I know that sounds silly when you look at that HUD and you realize how far up they are. But like I said, we're going to be doing some fast forwarding of time here pretty soon, so when that happens, that number up there is going to drop pretty substantially pretty fast. For the amount of animals that we have, that number will dissipate very fast. As for now, what we're dealing with is just normal everyday occurrences on a regular dairy farm. Every day you'd be out feeding the cows. That's part of the deal. And after you get the cows fed, then you got to figure out what's next. And 9 times out of 10, depending upon the season, it usually has something to do with a harvester or a tractor. in the summer was always a hectic time for any dairy farmer because it required having extra people on your farm that you wouldn't normally have on your farm. And having the extra people is because you needed the extra help. Now, if you were doing small square bales, you needed almost a crew to do small square bales of hay. And that would happen every year without fail. You'd have to have extra people on the farm to help you with that. Then came forage harvesting season, and when that would come around, usually around the fall, around Halloween, that time, that was when things got really hectic because you were looking at spending 12, 13-hour days outside in the fields in a tractor or in a forage harvester, and it took a toll on you. I'm not gonna lie, it did, but it was something that had to be done, and you really have to love farming to do that, and to go to work on a farm for somebody else and work those 12, 13-hour days right along beside them. You really have to love your job to do that. And that was my thing. I mean, I really loved farming, and I still do. Anytime I get the opportunity to go out and help on a farm, that's what I'll do. Farming is, in my opinion, probably the best job you could ever have. And the reason for that being is because it's just something that I've always enjoyed doing. Now, there are a lot of people that have farms that have been getting out of farming lately because of the constant amount of money that it's taking to do it anymore. And I'll be damned, that whole crop is withered. I don't know how that happened. I really needed this for straw and for the wheat, but I guess it just decided to wither on its own. So, dang. I mean, I was coming out here to spread manure on it, to help fertilize it, because the last video, that stuff wasn't even that tall. Now all of a sudden it's rotted. I think we may have just found a new bug. But that happens. Like I said, if I do get cut off, I will be back in the same place where I left off until I can afford the software to do this and do it the right way. Yeah, that's really amazes me that it all of a sudden is just gone. It's actually kind of depressing as well. Spent a lot of money to plant that field, but I guess. I mean, I do have the multi-mow mod in this game, so even if it does rot, I can still mow it. But gosh, I just kind of wanted to mow it when it was good. I didn't really want to mow it. I guess I wanted to harvest it, but what are you gonna do? And I went the wrong way. Part of being me is you'll go the wrong way 90% of the time. So if I can, draw myself a line from start to finish, I'll figure out a way to get off that line somehow, because that's just how I am. I don't know. I've always been that way. The gentleman that I worked for in Spartansburg when I did most of the farming, because I'm from Pennsylvania, I live in Pennsylvania. I live in a little town called Corey. I grew up in a little town called Spartansburg, and I don't know